Tasila Lungu joins PF Central Committee. Given Lubinda's shocking announcement changes everything. Today, we take you inside the sudden and dramatic shakeup within the Patriotic Front. Given Lubinda has just unveiled major changes, and at the center of it is none other than Tasila Lungu. Why now? Why Tasila? And what does this mean for the future of the PF as it struggles to rebuild? Some insiders say it's a fresh start. Others say it's a calculated move to consolidate power and prepare for 2026. Stay with me, we break down the full story, the reactions, and what this appointment really signals. Good day, viewers. Welcome to another edition of InspirAfrica Official. I'm Nakash. Well, it's been quite a week here in southern Africa, hasn't it? The political landscape keeps shifting beneath our feet, and just when you think you've seen it all, something new emerges from the shadows of power. Today, we bring you a lead story that has sent shockwaves rippling through Zambia's political establishment, a development that could fundamentally alter the balance of power within one of the nation's most influential political movements. Picture this, a dimly lit conference hall. The air thick with anticipation. Cameras flashing. And then, a name is called, a name that carries the weight of legacy, controversy, and unfinished business. Tasila Lungu. The daughter of former President Edgar Lungu. The woman who once stood in the corridors of State House. Now, she steps into the inner sanctum of the Patriotic Front's Central Committee. But here's where it gets interesting, viewers. This isn't just another political appointment. This is a calculated move announced by none other than Given Lubinda himself, the man who has navigated the treacherous waters of Zambian politics with the skill of a seasoned captain. So what does this really mean? Is this the beginning of a Lungu dynasty's resurgence? Is the PF preparing for a comeback that could reshape the 2026 elections? What message is being sent to the current administration? And perhaps most intriguingly, what does this tell us about the internal power dynamics within a party that has been fighting for relevance since losing power? The questions are many. The implications? Potentially explosive. The stakes? Nothing less than the future direction of Zambian opposition politics. Factual foundation, background and timeline. The revelation came to light during a carefully orchestrated press conference that sent journalists scrambling and political analysts into overdrive. It was Given Lubinda, the former Minister of Justice and current PF National Chairperson for Legal Affairs, who made the stunning announcement at the party secretariat in Lusaka. The date was significant, coming at a time when the Patriotic Front has been working to reorganize its structures and reclaim its position as a formidable opposition force. Tasila Lungu, daughter of Edgar Lungu, who served as Zambia's sixth president from 2015 to 2021, has maintained a relatively low political profile since her father's departure from State House. But those who've been watching closely know that her name has been whispered in political circles for months, always with speculation, always with intrigue. The journey to this moment began in the aftermath of the 2021 general elections when the PF suffered a devastating defeat to the United Party for National Development. The party found itself in disarray, grappling with internal divisions, allegations of corruption, and questions about its future leadership. In the months that followed, Edgar Lungu himself has remained a polarizing figure, simultaneously claiming retirement from active politics while maintaining an undeniable influence over party affairs. His daughter's elevation to the Central Committee comes at a critical juncture when the party is preparing its strategy for the 2026 electoral cycle. According to sources within the party structure, the decision to bring Tasila into the Central Committee had been discussed in closed-door meetings for several weeks before Lubinda's public announcement. The move required consultation with senior party members and approval from the highest echelons of PF leadership. The Central Committee itself is the nerve center of the Patriotic Front, where key decisions are made, strategies are crafted, and the direction of the party is determined. It's a position of genuine power, not merely symbolic recognition. Direct evidence. During the press conference, Given Lubinda stood before a backdrop of PF colors and addressed the gathered media with characteristic confidence. Today, Lubinda began, we announce a significant development in the strengthening of our party structures. The Central Committee has, unanimously agreed to welcome Tasila Lungu into our fold. He paused, letting the weight of the announcement settle before continuing. Now, I know there will be those who will say, that this is nepotism. That this is about family connections. But let me be very clear, Tasila has proven herself to be a dedicated member of this party. She has worked at the grassroots level. She understands the challenges facing ordinary Zambians. And she brings, a fresh perspective that we desperately need as we rebuild. When pressed by reporters about whether this signaled Edgar Lungu's continued influence over the party, Lubinda didn't shy away. President Lungu is a life member of this party. He is our former Republican president. It would be foolish to pretend that his counsel and wisdom aren't valuable to us. But this decision about Tasila, this is about her own merits, her own capabilities. A journalist asked directly, Mr. Lubinda, is the PF grooming Tasila for higher office? Are we looking at a potential presidential candidate in the future? Lubinda smiled, the kind of smile that veteran politicians perfect over decades. You know, that's a very interesting question. What I will say is this, the Patriotic Front believes in developing talent. We believe in giving opportunities to those who demonstrate commitment and capability. Where Tasila's journey takes her, that will be determined by her own efforts and, of course, by the members of this party who ultimately make such decisions. According to party insiders who spoke on condition of anonymity, the discussions leading to this appointment were not without controversy. One source revealed, there were, some members who felt that bringing in Tasila might be seen as a backward step. That we needed to move beyond the Lungu era entirely. But Given was very persuasive. He argued that we couldn't afford to alienate the Lungu support base, which is still very strong in certain regions. Another committee member, speaking more openly, stated, listen, politics is about winning. And right now, the PF needs to consolidate its base while also attracting new supporters. Tasila represents both continuity and renewal. She's young, she's educated, and yes, she carries a name that means something to millions of Zambians. Deeper analysis. This appointment sends ripples far beyond the confines of the PF Secretariat. It speaks to fundamental questions about political succession, party strategy, and the nature of opposition politics in Zambia. From the ruling UPND, reactions have been swift and pointed. Several government officials, speaking through various media channels, have characterized the move as evidence of the PF's inability to move forward. One minister remarked that this shows they're stuck in the past, recycling the same faces and the same families. But political analysts offer more nuanced perspectives. Dr. Mulna Kapwepwe, a political science lecturer at the University of Zambia, suggests that the move is actually quite strategic. What Given Lubinda understands, she explains, is that the PF cannot win in 2026 without maintaining its core base. Edgar Lungu still commands significant loyalty, particularly in Eastern Province and parts of Lusaka. By bringing Tasila into the Central Committee, they're signaling to that base that the Lungu legacy is not being abandoned. However, other analysts point to the risks. The PF has been trying to rebrand itself, to distance from some of the controversies that plagued the Lungu administration, allegations of corruption, concerns about democratic backsliding, and economic mismanagement. Does elevating Tasila undermine that rebranding effort? There are also legal and procedural questions to consider. The Zambian constitution prohibits presidents from serving more than 2 terms, which theoretically bars Edgar Lungu from running again in 2026. But there's ongoing debate about whether his brief initial term, following the death of President Michael Sata, should count toward that limit. By keeping the Lungu name prominent in party leadership, the PF may be keeping options open, maintaining pressure on the constitutional question. Civil society organizations have expressed concern about what they see as the entrenchment of political dynasties. A statement from the Zambia Council for Social Development noted, "We believe Zambian politics should be based on merit and ideas, not on family connections." While every citizen has the right to participate in politics, parties should be careful not to create the impression that leadership is hereditary. From within the PF itself, younger members express mixed feelings. Some see Tasila as a bridge between generations, someone who can connect the party's achievements under Edgar Lungu with a forward-looking vision. Others worry that the party is missing an opportunity to develop entirely new leadership that could offer a clean break from past controversies. The timing is also significant. With local government elections approaching and the 2026 general elections on the horizon, the PF is clearly in mobilization mode. Tasila's appointment could energize certain constituencies, particularly women and youth who might see her as a fresh face, while potentially alienating those who want a complete departure from the Lungu era. And let's not forget the internal power dynamics this reveals. Given Lubinda's role in announcing and championing this appointment demonstrates his continued influence within the party structure. He's positioning himself as a kingmaker, someone who can navigate between different factions and maintain party unity. That's a powerful position to hold. Viewers, thank you so much for watching today's edition of InspirAfrica Official. This is a developing story, and you can be certain we'll be following every twist and turn as it unfolds. The appointment of Tasila Lungu to the PF Central Committee is more than just a personnel decision, it's a statement of intent, a strategic calculation, and potentially a preview of battles to come. What do you think? Is this a smart move by the Patriotic Front, or does it represent a party unable to move beyond its past? Should political parties embrace family legacies, or should they prioritize fresh faces with no connection to previous administrations? And most importantly, what does this mean for Zambia's democratic future? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We want to hear from you. Whether you're a PF supporter, a UPND loyalist, or someone who believes Zambia needs entirely new political alternatives, your voice matters in this conversation. We'll be back tomorrow with more news, more analysis, and more of the stories that shape our continent. Until then, this is Nakash, reminding you to stay informed, stay engaged, and stay inspired. God bless you all. See you in the next one.